Once contained to farms and off-roading, sport utility vehicles are increasingly squeezing their way onto Paris's narrow roads. Nearly half of all new passenger cars sold in France are now SUVs. And with each passing year, they get bigger and bigger.
Transport et Environnement a analysé.
Transport et Environment has analysed the 100 best-selling vehicles on the European market, and we found that overall they're 1 centimetre wider every 2 years. This phenomenon of vehicle obesity occurs in cities that are already dense, where there isn't much space and where there's a need to reduce the role of the car in order to share space with pedestrians and motorists.
Besides taking up more physical space, Paris officials say SUVs emit more pollution, require wider parking slots, and are a hazard to pedestrians and cyclists. One study found that car noses raised by 10 centimeters carry a 30% higher risk of fatalities. A new levy, approved in a referendum on Sunday, aims to kick them out of the city.
It's a very, very bad idea, you know.
Yves Cara is a spokesperson for the Mobility Club of France. He says SUVs in Europe are still small, at least compared to the U.S., and that officials are ignoring one important thing, that the U in SUV means utility.
Si on l'achète,
if you buy it, it's because you really need it, to get around, to go to work, to take the kids to school, and to point the finger and accuse the people of Paris of driving these cars and making them pay a very, very high price because supposedly these cars are worse for the planet than others is a scandal.
C'est un scandale.
What's happening in Paris could ripple out across Europe. London's mayor, Sadiq Khan, told the British daily The Guardian he's open to a similar levy if the one in Paris proves effective. And there's reason to believe it could change consumer behavior in the same way the introduction of ultra-low emission zones have impacted diesel cars.
We're seeing a massive decline in the registration of diesel cars over the past few years in cities like London and then also Paris and Amsterdam because of the measures they've been taking at a city level where actually it was going to cost you more to use these vehicles. People factor it into their choice.
Even if consumers ditch SUVs for sedans, they won't exactly be getting the mini vehicles of yesteryear.
Bigger vehicles often mean bigger profits for car manufacturers. And since the turn of the century, the average car in Europe has not only gotten wider, but heavier. It's known as autobesity. And as any dieter knows, it's a lot easier to gain weight than it is to lose it. Tony Waterman, CGTN, Paris, France.